David Ornstein confirms Arsenal ahead of Manchester United in race to sign £55 million star. And Arsenal just confirmed they can sign Arteta's dream midfielder this month, previously out of reach. Stay with me until the end of the video to understand everything happening behind the scenes at the Emirates Stadium. Love Arsenal as much as we do? Then don't wait another second. Subscribe to our channel now and be the first to know everything about the Premier League's greatest team. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of true Gunners fans. Now, let's jump into today's top news. Arsenal are said to be leading Manchester United in the race to sign one of the most talented strikers in Europe. The Gunners are expected to be very active in the summer transfer window. Quite a few players could leave the Emirates, but the focus, as always, will be on new signings. A new striker is likely to be a priority in this window, and David Ornstein has suggested that Arsenal are better placed than Manchester United to sign one player. David Ornstein explains why Arsenal are ahead of Manchester United in Benjamin Sesko race. Benjamin Sesko is one of Arsenal's main targets in the summer transfer window. The Slovenian had a fine campaign for RB Leipzig in the 2023-24 season. He scored 18 goals in all competitions, and that seems to have caught Arsenal's eye. The Gunners could do with a new centre-forward this summer. Kai Havertz has done a good job, but having another big striker would be a great option. Sesko would be brilliant for Arsenal, but Manchester United are also interested in signing the talented 21-year-old RB Leipzig star. The race is still open for the 21-year-old, who is protected by a £55 million release clause. But Ornstein believes Arsenal are leading Manchester United in the race to sign him this summer for several reasons. He said on the Athletic FC podcast, "Manchester United, it's a bit more complicated there because of the managerial situation, the financial situation, the footballing situation. The feeling there is that a club like Arsenal are perhaps ahead of them in this moment in time because they are very settled, they are very competitive. It's a good time to be involved at Arsenal. Their finances are in a slightly better shape." Even though Arsenal did not win the Premier League title in the 2023-24 season, there are a lot of positives to take from Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff. No team conceded fewer goals than the Gunners in the league, while Manchester City were the only side who managed to score more. Another huge positive was Arsenal's brilliance in set-piece situations. They scored 20 goals from dead balls, more than any other side in the Premier League. That's thanks to the fantastic work of set-piece coach Nicolas Jover, who has transformed Arsenal in that department. We think Jover would absolutely love Sesko at Arsenal. The RB Leipzig star stands at 6 feet 5 inches tall. He's taller than every Arsenal outfield player, and with the right guidance from Jover, he would be a real problem for the opponents in set-piece situations next season if the Gunners sign him. Just imagine Havertz, Sesko, Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba in the box. Arsenal now have a surprise opportunity to sign a midfielder Mikel Arteta has dreamed of bringing to the club for years. Despite bringing Declan Rice to the Emirates Stadium last summer, Arteta is now thought to be keen to make another marquee midfield signing at Arsenal this summer. Thomas Partey looks set to leave Arsenal, and although Jorginho has signed a new deal, further numbers will be needed. Arsenal need a new starter, and Edu and his team will either be searching for a natural number 6, or a profile can play a variety of midfield roles. It would be a surprise if Arteta abandoned his experiment of playing Rice as a number 8, explaining why the club are likely to prioritize a signing for their pivot. A few names have been mentioned this summer, with Benfica's 19-year-old João Neves the latest world-class talent to be linked with a move to Arsenal. Otherwise, there's Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi, who is said to have been of interest to Arteta for a long time. But, when it comes to long-standing admiration, Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz trumps all others. Aston Villa willing to sell Arsenal target Douglas Luiz because of PSR struggles. Luiz has often been considered Arteta's dream signing, one that has never come to fruition because of Villa's hard stance, which previously rejected any interest. But according to Mail Sport, that's a position that has now changed amid the club's PSR difficulties. Villa need to balance their books before June 30th, and Luiz has emerged as an obvious, if not reluctant player to sell. Arsenal legend Gilberto Silva previously told Arsenal to buy Luiz, believing he could still take his game to the next level. And perhaps this revelation could ignite Arsenal's pursuit once again. It remains to be seen how much Villa would demand for Luiz, given the 26-year-old still has a contract which runs until 2026. But given that Arsenal are targeting a cut-price deal for Benjamin Sesko this month, they perhaps could afford to chase both moves. There's certainly a lot of moving pieces for Edu and his recruitment team, But if Arsenal execute their departures well this month, there's no reason why they can't execute two hugely ambitious moves. Arsenal told which striker would be a better summer signing, Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins. The England duo have both been strongly linked with a move to the North London side in recent weeks, with Watkins himself a supporter of Arsenal after enjoying a sensational year with Aston Villa under Unai Emery. Whilst Toney's form at Brentford has been mixed since his return to football, the former Newcastle United man remains linked with a move to Arsenal, with a summer move expected at last for the 28-year-old striker. And pundit Darren Bent has now said which striker would be a better fit for Arsenal. Toney edges out over Watkins as a potential Arsenal signing. Speaking on TalkSport, Bent made the suggestion that Toney would be the better signing for Arsenal than Watkins, despite the Villa attacker's immaculate goal-scoring and assist record this season. Citing Toney's link-up play, it makes sense why the former England international would suggest the Brentford man as his ideal choice to join Arsenal this summer, given how deadly the likes of Bukayo Saka could be alongside the striker. Indeed, whilst neither forward is likely to move to Arsenal this summer, Toney, on paper, could be the more ideal fit for the Gunners, even with Watkins having his best year yet in the Premier League. Bent said, "Out of Watkins and Toney, I'm going for Toney. In regards to link-up play, Toney is slightly ahead, but obviously, movement, pace, Watkins has got, even finishing." Every Arsenal fan knows Watkins would be the better signing. Although Toney could be a more ideal fit for Arsenal, Watkins would be clearly the better signing for the Gunners given what the Villa superstar has achieved this season. The former Brentford talisman has taken his game to a whole new level this year, registering over 40 goal contributions in all competitions and guiding Villa to a surprise UEFA Champions League finish. With Arsenal in need of a world-class striker, Watkins ticks all the boxes the North London side are looking for, with the forward being a gooner and added bonus for Mikel Arteta. But what about you, dear fan? Which of the two would be the better signing for Arsenal this summer? Leave your answer in the comments, I want to know. Arsenal could now have the edge in race for dynamic £43 million midfield target. In recent days, speculation intensified regarding Arsenal and Monaco star Youssouf Fofana. According to L'Equipe, the Gunners have been in talks with the players' camp. Now, French football journalist Jonathan Johnson has spoken to Caught Offside about how much Monaco could want for Fofana, as well as highlighting a potential advantage for Arsenal. What has Jonathan Johnson said about Arsenal and Youssouf Fofana? Johnson wrote, "Youssouf Fofana has been linked again with Arsenal, and we know that Monaco have to sell to survive this summer. Getting back into the Champions League lessons that need slightly, so they can be a bit more demanding with the price tag. But in general, it makes sense that we're seeing links with clubs like Arsenal, as he is a player who I understand is sought after across Europe at the moment. Not just at Arsenal and the Premier League, but PSG have been looking at him, as well as he's a top French talent who hails from the Paris region. In terms of Fofana's price tag, I don't think we'll see a similar price tag to when Aurelien Tchouameni went to Real Madrid a couple of years ago. But I do think that Monaco will be looking for upwards of around €50 million, £43 million, which makes it tricky for a club like PSG right now with the uncertainty over League One TV rights. That could make it quite an advantageous situation for a club like Arsenal or anyone else in the Premier League who might be interested. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.